Hello again, everyone. Marcus here. I review stuff today. I'm reviewing the song I'm Above by Mad Season. As usual, this song comes to you as a request from one of my viewers, so if you want to get your song reviewed, just do what they did. Leave it in the comments, and I'll be sure to add it to my list. Been sitting on this one for a while now, and you know what prompted me to kind of finally get into it? I'm going to tell a quick story. A while back, I would say a few months ago at this point, I was hanging out with some of my friends, and there's a younger guy in our group. I mean, he's only 23, I think, and he had never really explored like 90s grunge, right? So we were just hanging out. I decided to put on Allison Brewster. Dude just like immediately fell in love. Listens to grunge all the time now. Dude is like obsessed with Alice in Chains. He listens to a bunch of Pearl Jam, Nirvana. I mean, like a lot of that stuff. And I'm like, okay, like I'm like a very happy, kind of like content older friend now. I'm like a big brother almost, like showing their younger brother like music, and kind of just helping them grow their appreciation for it. So awesome moment to see, and he fully is like, hey man, you showing me Rooster opened up like a whole new world for me. But what I came to realize, and this is getting to the point of it, is I personally have still a lot of gaps in like my knowledge of grunge or like grunge adjacent acts, right? Like, yes, I'm a huge Alice in Chains fan. I love Pearl Jam. Again, I love Nirvana, Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden, right? Really kind of the big four. Super familiar with all their work. Really big fan. But like when it comes to things that are, sort of around the orbit of that big four, I don't know a whole lot. Things like Mad Season, like Mother Love Bone, I really have not explored those artists like at all. The one that I have kind of dipped my toes into, I know a few songs from Temple of the Dog, but again, like in that universe kind of surrounding grunge, or where these grunge artists kind of went and did side projects and things like that, I really don't have a lot of experience. So I was like, okay, I thought I had seen a request for a Mad Season song. I got to get to it now because I really have to start broadening my horizons again in this sort of space that I am sort of lacking in. So with that all said, I do know that Mad Season is Lane Staley. I want to say the guitarist from Pearl Jam, drummer from Screaming Trees maybe, and then I see it's also featuring Mark Lanigan, which I know Mark Lanigan from Queens of the Stone Age. I haven't heard anything else, I don't think, from Mark Lanigan. Actually, I have heard some of his solo work. I take that back. I think I did a review for one of his solo projects at some point. So again, like I know of these artists and I've heard some of their work in kind of, I guess, their main band or whatever, but I've never actually sat down and listened to a Mad Season track. So let's dive in. This is Mad Season, I'm Above. I did pick the live version just because as I was looking, this version, I mean, this performance had like 1 million views on YouTube, and the next like non-live version had only like 700. I say only, that's still a lot, 700,000, right? So I was like, okay, this live version must be iconic or just well regarded, right? So let's take a look.
Of man
I like that a whole lot. You know, I'm not sure if the rest of Mad Season's music sounds like this, but like that was bluesy. It was grungy. I think it kind of hit all the notes that I was hoping for. There was just a whole lot to enjoy from this performance. I hope it doesn't get blocked. Anytime I see the little Vivo logo, I always get real nervous. You might not have been able to watch the video. Hopefully, you at least heard the audio here. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. So anyway, let's take a look now. Let's break the song down like we always do, starting with those lyrics. Okay, I was about to say, usually Genius has like a, hey, see this band for as low as whatever. And it said, but this one says, see rock shows near Austin. Okay, I was going to say, like, Lane Staley is dead. In fact, I'm pretty sure another guy, Mark Lanigan, I think, is dead as well. So, yeah, anyway. So verse 1, Mark Lanigan and Lane Staley, for clear space and soundness of mind, I've let you play me for some time. One can only receive and retain, but the lies you recite for your gain. So you rely on my faith in your kind, or rather continue to pretend that I'm blind. You say I made your life a living hell, and yet still let me pay you when I fail. That's interesting. So the first verse to me is like, again, like, I kind of let you sort of take advantage of me that way, because the opposite, not letting you do that, would have been even more like troublesome for me, right? It would have been a living hell, I imagine. So I've let you kind of play me for some time just so I don't have to put up with the alternative, right? I can only receive and retain, but the lies you recite for your gain. And so then in verse 2, it almost sounds like a call and response, right? Like, hey, you like took advantage of me and I let you. And then in verse 2, it's like, well, you would rather continue to pretend that I'm blind. You say I made your life a living hell, and yet still let me pay you when I fell. So again, it's like, in the first verse, it's like, you made my life a living hell. In the second verse, it's like, well, you said I made your life a living hell, but you also aren't, innocent in all this. And so then we get into the pre-chorus. How is it you're feeling so uneasy? How is it that I feel fine? Life reveals what is dealt through seasons. Circle comes around each time. I've been blessed with eyes to see this behind the unwhole truth you hide. Bite to remind the bitten. Bigger mouth repaying tenfold wide. Wow, that's a mouthful, like literally metaphorically. Bite to remind the bitten. That's interesting. Bigger mouth repaying tenfold wide. I'm above, over you, I'm standing above, claiming unconditional love above. Tried to keep bad blood in the past, never thought a chance it would last. I have strength enough to forgive. I desire peace where I live. Yeah, so honestly, like from the chorus onward, it almost sounds like this person sort of reclaiming their power, right? Saying like, you put me down all this time, but now I'm above you. Like I've risen above the hatred. I've risen above whatever you did to me, and I'm gonna let it go in the past. Like I'm gonna move past it. I'm the bigger, like literally the bigger person. I'm above you, right? That's kind of how I'm reading it. I've been blessed with eyes to see this behind the unwhole truth you hide. Bite to remind the bitten, bigger mouth, repaying tenfold wide. How is it you're feeling so uneasy? How is it that I feel fine? Life reveals what is dealt through seasons. Circle comes around each time. And so it sounds to me like perhaps they feel like they are, again, above. They feel like they're the bigger person because they know that this person is going to get their payback eventually, right? Like they're going to be dealt a shitty hand, or karma is going to come around and bite them in the ass, So they're just like, you know what? I'm going to do me. You want to be an asshole? You do you. It'll bite you in the ass later. I'm above, over you, I'm standing above, claiming unconditional love above, I'm above, over you, I'm standing above, claiming unconditional love above, I'm above, over you. Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, I think it's well written. I think, there's probably a few ways that you can interpret it. Again, I'm interpreting it as someone saying like, you've always kind of kept me underfoot, you've always put me down. Well, I'm rising above that hatred. Karma's going to come get you at some point, so I'm not even worried about it. So I mean, hey, I thought it was well written. If nothing else, I give it 2 thumbs up for the lyricism. As far as the instrumentation and vocals go, I gotta say, it's refreshing to hear something new to me from Lane Staley, right? Like, again, I've listened to like pretty much all of Alice in Chains' stuff. Huge fan. And so it's like I've heard Lane Staley, right? But now to kind of almost discover again, because this came out in what 95, to sort of discover more music from Lane. It's like, hey, this is like Christmas for me, you know. So I think he sounds great, and you know, not to compare too much to Alice in Chains, but one thing I really do like about Alice in Chains is the sort of harmonizing between him and Jerry Cantrell in a lot of those songs. I feel like as great of a vocalist as Lane is, I feel like Jerry adds so much to what Alice in Chains does as well. Obviously, both in the guitar work, but also vocally. Whereas here, it looks like, I just wanted to confirm, it looks like it was Mark and Lane in this performance as well, sort of harmonizing off of each other. And honestly, I loved the way that both of them sounded too. Like, again, Lane Staley, in my opinion, one of the greatest rock vocalists of all time. Like, obviously. But I really do like him when he's able to harmonize with someone else. I feel like it just adds that much more depth to the music, and so him and Mark sound great. The drumming I thought was fantastic as well. A lot of really fun and energetic drum fills. The bass was fantastic as well. Really some groovy bass lines kind of coming in, especially in moments where the drums and the guitar kind of took a little bit of a backseat. You could really hear that bass coming through, and then of course the guitar work I thought was fantastic. Nice little kind of bluesy guitar solo there in the end, in the middle, I should say, with some nice like kind of guitar licks throughout, and honestly just kind of like a nice main riff that kind of carries you through the whole song. I mean, instrumentally and vocally, this one was super solid, really fun to listen to. I'm going to give it 2 big thumbs up. As far as replay value goes, you know, I know I listened to a live performance here, but I liked it. You know, I typically try to do the studio version first, to just really get a feel for what it sounds like. But again, I think, you know, this live version just had so many more views than any of the studio versions. I figured I'd give this one a shot, and I really enjoyed what they did here live. I mean, the fact that they sounded this good live means I'm in for a treat when I kind of revisit the recorded version, hopefully. So anyway, really enjoyed this. It's definitely going to make the playlist. Can't wait to listen to it again. 2 big thumbs up from me overall. A fantastic song and an excellent request. Thank you so much for the person who requested this one all those months, maybe even a year ago at this point. Been sitting on this one for a while, like I said. So again, thank you for your request. As always, if you enjoyed the music as much as I did, go support the artists. Go listen to their music wherever you can. I know that, you know, some of the artists in this band, if not maybe most of the artists in this band, are deceased at this point. But you know, for those surviving members or the estates or whatever, I'm sure they appreciate your support. I should stop rambling. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, consider supporting the channel. You know, like and subscribe and comment with your requests, because I'm always taking those. And of course, you can check the description if you'd like to follow me on Twitch, TikTok, or Instagram. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.